That's a liberal.
It's like saying, would you rather have wine or water?
Wine, a half inch means a lot sometimes.
Nobody likes to eat crow. Right.
Now I'm starving.
How much is the economy today? It's that much.
Pumpkin latte sucks, and I want to speak to your manager.
Objection, hearsay. Objection, leading. Objection, hearsay.
Where is that woman when Biden speaks? Out here. His name is pronounced Joni. And that's the end of it.
I swear to God, Jennifer is coming. She was just here and she just jumped off. Of course, you've reached the right stuff, better known as the shit show, because technologically speaking, we are screwed. Let me just make sure she's not calling me. She doesn't need any codes. Here she comes, but she's got no camera still.
I used it all day long.
Okay. So clearly we have a problem, Houston.
Oh, it was off.
There you go. Oh, it was off. You just like to make me shit a brick. That's what you like to do. You like to make me crazy. Hello, Bobby Dutcher. Good evening. We worked out Facebook finally. I hope you're all watching on Facebook. Are you on the internet? Oh my gosh, you're freezing up. What happened last week was is that Facebook had, now I'm showing that I don't have a strong signal.
Not me.
What is going on? Oh, of course, my internet. So last week, we lost, I don't have Facebook anymore. I can't live stream on Facebook. Jen is the only one that can. And we lost connection with our podcast software. And Jen was late, stuck in traffic. And so she couldn't reconnect. And so we had no Facebook last week. That's the long of it. Sorry, everybody. Okay, Francine is with us. How are you, Francine? Yeah, way to get Marker absent. I don't know, Howard. I wonder about school. Now I'm starting to wonder. Andrew is with us, and Grandma is with us. Hello, Grandma Joe. Well, you look beautiful, Jen. No, we can't hear you, honey.
You hear me? Now my mic doesn't work?
Okay, now your mic is working. Okay, your mouth was moving, but nothing was happening. Oh my God!
Computer, I think.
It's not my computer, but we'll play a clip, and I'll go check and make sure that I have full power. It says I have full power. Anyway, how are you, Jen? No.
I don't understand.
Does everybody hear her? When you were closer, we heard you. Speak.
I'm sitting in front of the computer.
Okay. Happy Tuesday, Angela Ricca. Okay, everybody's saying no, they can't hear you. Yeah, you're. Do you have any other programs? Do you have any programs open? No other programs are open.
Nothing. Can you hear me?
Now we can hear you. Sometimes we can't. Now we can't. Jen has a brand new computer, everybody. Okay.
Fun.
This is going to be fun. All right. Well, anyway, your grandmother wants to know, are you using your new computer?
Yeah, it's lovely.
Well, try and stay as close to it as possible because we seem to hear you then. Maybe it might have a sensitive whatever so that it doesn't pick up background noise, possibly. So, all right. Yeah, check the mic settings.
I'll show a video and I will.
Okay, well, our first video is, did everybody see that Obama was in the UK? That was interesting. Good evening, ladies and gents. Patriot are us. Yes, US. And that's Beer Nuts coming to us from Rumble. All right, so everybody see that Obama is getting bold. Not only is he pulling Joe Biden's strings behind the scenes, not so much behind the scenes, but now he went to meet with the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. Is it the Prime Minister? Yes, the Prime Minister of the UK, under cloak and cover, but he mugged it up for the cameras. So we have a compilation here, one from Forbes and one from The Independent. Watch.
Do you have a few moments for the BBC, Mr. Obama? Do you have a few moments? Did you discuss Gaza?
You're lucky you're so beautiful. You really are lucky you're so beautiful. You get away with everything. Okay. Hi, Gloria. Gloria's with us. So here's the thing. Obama is a private citizen, and the Logan Act forbids private citizen from interacting with in international affairs. And so the news, well, the conservative news, because the mainstream media would never do it. The conservative news is wondering if this is a violation of the Logan Act, and what the hell was he doing there? Who would have thought Joe Biden could be 1,000 times worse than Obama? Yeah, it's true. That's very, very, very true. So, what do you think Obama was doing at 10 Downing Street? Why was Obama in the UK paying a quote unquote, courtesy visit to the Prime Minister of the UK?
I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
You know?
nobody. But if we ever thought that, he was going to stay in the background, we could see that he's itching and something is going on here. We know that there are a lot of Obama connections to a lot of the people that are right now after Trump, to Tish James, to Fani Willis. There's a lot of Obama connections that are going that are there behind the scenes in to work this election. And I would like to hear everybody's thoughts about what he could have been doing. Picking up money for Biden. That would have bbeen China, but maybe the UK. I think the UK is broke right now. Checking on Kate Middleton. Oh, I love it. Love it. Excellent. Yeah. Just wanted to know. He wanted to know about her Photoshop skills. He's moving to England. Oh, please. Him and Barbara Streisand, maybe, if Trump wins. Obama was just there to get the Prime Minister's fish and chips recipe right. So, lots of questions. he mugged it up for the cameras for sure. He didn't try to hide the fact that he was there, and everybody was really closed mouth about what he was doing there, and that scares the hell out of me. When things like that happen, I'm not happy. So, the show's name is Weird But True. And if you would have told me that Obama would be having meetings with the prime minister when he's not acting in official capacity for the United States, I would have said to you, well, that's weird.
Well, it says that he was there for his charity, part of his work with the Obama Foundation. And then he had a surprise visit with Rishi Sunak.
Yes, he was in the UK for that, but why was he meeting with the prime minister of the UK? That's the
surprise visit.
Yeah, it was
an hour.
He just rolled up on her. Hey, what you doing? I'm just gonna stop by for some tea. You got a minute for me? I just want to chat. Maybe you could send me a check for the Obama Foundation. Well, why not? Hillary and Bill took checks from all of the Middle East countries. Well, okay. So wait, we have a lot more comments. Okay, hold on. Let's see what's going on here. Broke. What about Russian money in UK? This is true. It's true. That's true. Sorry, I should know that the professor will always call me out. Hello, Colleen Mahoney. Hey, Sean Miller, how are you? Another Bad Squad Patriot. Thank you for joining us. And so is Colleen, Bad Squad Patriot on Twitter. Lucille, our OG. Good to have you, Lucille. Let's see. Local press seemed to know he was arriving. Well, they knew he was arriving. They had bobbies on the corner. They had plenty of security. Hey, Mickey Petrides, how you doing? He was there to tell him he's pulling Biden's puppet strings. I think they knew that. Quite obvious. The king really did die. Oh, God. No, I think it was Middleton they were suspecting was dead. And Debbie Lebedo is with us. Oh, I'm so glad all you guys came back. All about money and power. Absolutely, it is about money and power. All right, so under Weird But True, did you see this, Jen? We can talk over this one. Google helped boost Obama and Clinton's presidential runs while censoring Republicans. So, yeah, we knew it, but now there's a report that shows it.
Who's the Post, not the Daily News?
Well, the story was by the Post, but the report was from MRC, which is a media organization. And what they did was they said that it cost more money for Republicans to reach potential voters than it did for Democrats to reach. And it cost Republicans over $2 billion more to reach potential voters because Google was skewed to keep only the Democrat information at the forefront.
Well, they word it in. They censor words.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So now the report is showing it. We knew, right? Something was off with Google when they did their AI component. And when you Googled the founding fathers, they were Native American and Black and women. So Google has some answering to do. That's for sure. Google interference 4.0. Yep, you're absolutely right. Totally right. Okay, so and here's another one we could talk over. This just everybody read it carefully. I'll read it to you, but Jen, look at it carefully. Biden declares U.S. has the lowest inflation in America. Lowest inflation in America. The U.S. has the lowest inflation in America.
Too bad I don't have my ruler.
Yeah. So, this is the man who couldn't stand trial. He couldn't, a jury would see him as a sweet old man. He didn't have the ability to, stand up and defend himself. He doesn't know that America and the US are the same thing, but he can lead the country. He can lead the free world. Crazy stuff. Let's see. They'll answer to nobody. Yeah, well, I don't know about that, Colleen, but maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. I'm sneaking in while at work, pretending not to be watching your show. Oh, well then, Jen, you can't say any or do anything funny because if Sean laughs, he'll be in trouble. Pinhead. Is that Obama or Biden? Let's just call him O'Biden. Biden is inflated. Yeah. He's a nasty old man. He sure is. And he can do push-ups. I don't know. I'm working too. Oh, okay. Everybody's working. I'm writing a college paper for my grandson.
Why? Why?
Because he's busy at work.
Because he's failing the class.
Yes, so I'm helping him out. Get off the lawn.
Don't lie to me. He tells me the truth.
I know. Well, he said to me, if I don't get these outlines done, I have to drop the class because I'm going to fail. So I said, okay, well, what do we have to do? And he just gave me the information, didn't even tell me what was going on in the class. It was ridiculous. Shush. Nah, Colleen, we're just putting it all over the place. The last paper I wrote for him, we got an A. So it was good. Not bad for a high school dropout. All right, let's see. All right, so here was Biden when he made sense and he could string sentences together, and he's talking about shutting down the government. Watch.
When I argued that we should freeze federal spending, I meant Social Security as well. I meant Medicare and Medicaid. I meant veterans benefits. I meant every single solitary thing in the government. And I not only tried it once, I tried it twice, I tried it a third time, and I tried it a fourth time.
He's so full of shit.
Well, he tried 4 times to shut down the government. Then you need to yell so that we could hear you.
Okay.
Oh, good. Excellent. That was good. Don't make fun of Joe Biden and he's going to send corn pop to your house. Yeah, I'd like to see if there's a corn pop. He sounds like he is on helium. Always a criminal. Yeah, well, you can't be in Washington for that long and not be a criminal. He meant the new America, right? I think he was there with Columbus. Oh, I love it. Here we go again. We're getting ready with the Biden let's beat up on Biden. Oh, I love it. All right. So this next story, weird but true, is about criminals that have come over the border and have formed a gang and are breaking into the rich people's houses in Beverly Hills. But I want you all to listen carefully to what the media is calling them. Jen, pay attention because nobody's going to believe this one.
We have a significant increase in burglaries from organized groups that are outside this country, that are coming into the country, and they are targeting high-end residents. And we are addressing that specifically in a task force fashion through multi-agencies.
Lots of these break-ins have been recorded by security cameras in recent years. Detectives tell me many tourist burglars who've been arrested often entered the U.S. through a visa waiver program. Many were visiting from Chile and other South American countries. The LAPD says there have been more than 900 residential burglaries across the city since January. Some of those committed by the tourist burglars who often target luxury homes in the foothills. And some of them may be using new technology to interfere with home security. Just last week, the LAPD's Wilshire station sent out this alert that Wi-Fi jammers had been used to block camera and alarm signals during some recent break-ins.
Some sort of device by burglars that actually deaden, kill, or stop Wi-Fi from operating.
The immediate fix for these home alarm systems is to hardwire them. where you plug those systems directly into your Ethernet in the wall and not use your Wi-Fi internally.
Choi says he's not sure if the tourist burglars have been using these devices, but the I-Team has learned jammers and drones have been found by officers in Beverly Hills and other nearby cities. Last year, burglars were caught staking out homes in Orange County while wearing a camouflage suit like this, similar to ghillie suits worn by military snipers. And it's not just a California story. Police in Scottsdale, Arizona announced today the arrests of a trio of suspected residential burglars, all in the U.S. on the visa waiver program and suspected of being part of a wide-ranging criminal organization.
The terrorist burglar.
I'm impressed that you scaled that wall.
I feel like the 36 inches. I just stood with like.
Tourist burglars, because they're here on visas, because they're illegal migrants. They're here on no visas or visa waivers. Not organized groups and tourists, organized groups of illegal migrants who got waivers for visas, and they are now being called tourist burglars. Tourist burglars. I want you all to think about that. Tourist burglars. California, Newsom. That's who gave him the name. We need to seek asylum for this administration. Oh my God. Yeah, cut the wires. Yeah. I used to remote into my mom's computer and help her with her homework when she went back to college. We got A's. Oh, good, Sean. Do you want to remote into mine? And this is on. I got to read the Book of Genesis and the Quran. I don't know what school you're sending him to. This is crazy. They need to build a moat around their homes and fill it up with alligators. Not for nothing, but tourist burglars. I pictured them, with somebody with a red flag, This is the home of Mel Gibson, and this is the home of this, and they just break. Oh my God, I can't. Tell me how this makes sense. I mean, are we just going to accept this, people? When news, I don't know who gave them the name of tourist burglars, but we're just going to accept it? This is nuts. Oh my God. Tourists, yeah, exactly. MS-13 tourists are running the Roosevelt Hotel. 100%. Tourists they crawled over a fence and were welcomed in. Yes. Yeah. And now we're surprised that they're breaking into high-end homes. Oh my God. Using high-end technology. What happened to the I am as an asylum seeker because I'm impoverished in my country? I have no cell phone. I have no rights. I have no anything. This seems to be, without a doubt, an organized movement by, I don't know.
I already told you. His name is Zachary from Venezuela. He is the not Scarface, the real rich one that hung his partner from the helicopter. That's who he is. If you look him up.
Well,
and that's who he's sending here. And they all have their little crown tattoos.
Yep. But we're accepting it. We're accepting it so much that we gave it a ridiculous name like tourist burglar. Howard Zinn wants me to play Genesis Illegal Alien while you climb over the wall. Can't do it, Howard. You know why? Because they're like copyrighted. I can't play any music that we don't buy here. I'm lucky that I can play some clips. No, not tortoise. Tourist. Like, like walking around with the maps and following the person with the flag. Tourists. And then you were the one who you said it that the government is now travel agents for illegal migrants, and they're sending them all over in planes and buses. And I know they're tourists. And oh my God, let's write Biden's speech. Okay, wait. There's got to be something going on here. Maybe they will smarten up in California by changing their vote. You think? I don't think so.
High. They're too high.
They're all potted out, huh? They're all weeded out. I sent you guys my Pelosi video. I didn't see it. I'm sorry. I wasn't on Facebook all day because I was writing a paper for college.
Nolan is fucking with you.
Was that? I wish I could hear you better. All right, we're gonna have to get you a microphone for that computer too. Did that happen to you when you were at work on Zoom? No. All right. Is she going in and out, everybody, or is it just me? Texas can toss them back for the time being anyway. Yeah, for the time being. But now these are in Arizona and Beverly Hills. Illegal tourists. No, not tourists. Not tourists. Tourists. Did you hear about the cop training where the fences and walls are 3.5 feet tall? They have to be able to climb over them to graduate. No, come on.
Migrants are short, so I get it. They're a little.
So they're lowering the fence
That's one
walls?
from Mexico.
Oh my God. They were failing too many people who couldn't climb the 6-foot walls. I can't. I bet they can't. Go ahead. What?
No. Go ahead, speak. I'm going to check my mic settings, even though I did already, and it's on full volume.
It's on full volume. So it's got to be sensitive, maybe to background noise. Maybe when I talk, your mic goes off or something like that. We'll have it fixed by next week. Yeah. So they can scale the walls or, at the border, but they can scale over razor wire, but they can't scale 6-foot walls. So we're going to reduce them to 3.5. Bill Nolan, did you hear anything about this? We love you too, Billy Nolan. Yes, she's going in and out. Okay, you are going in and out. Okay. Oh, okay. You were ahead of me. In and out. Okay. Let the illegals train them. Yeah, really. Yeah, they've got a handle on what's going on here. They understand our technology. They understand what they can get away with. I want to know how they know so much. I mean, regular Americans can't figure this crap out. Clearly, Jen can't figure out her computer, but these guys can figure out how to remotely undo your Ring doorbell and your locks. Come on. Unbelievable. Okay, Debbie says you're good now. I hear Jen with no problem. Good. All right. Elon talked about lowering standards with Don Lemon. Yes, I know. And then Don Lemon got his show canceled, which was good. I was happy about that. Okay. So anyway, tourist criminals. I want everybody to look out for that. It's a way of desensitizing us to the criminal act and to the migrants who are committing these crimes, and to accept this. This is what they do. Americans are restricted. We're restricted on planes. We have to be patted down. We need special licenses to get on planes. We're restricted on a myriad of different things, mandated vaccines, mandated everything. But if you're coming across the border illegally, you have carte blanche. And, thank you, Joe Biden or Obama, or both of them, for doing this to us. I used to have a device that could jam all signals in a 3-block area. You were a cop. So that's funny because Don Lemon has no standards. Excellent. Oh, bought in England. Oh, okay. That's interesting. And you can't leave car keys near a car in your house. Plus, if you hear or see somebody press your panic button on key fob. Okay, good advice. Right wing is dangerous. Yes, the right wing is very dangerous. We're terrible. Beware of all kinds of hacking, migrants or not. Hacking is always a serious problem. It's
My
certainly
computer has a little Indian man living in it now. And I
really.
can't get him out. That's what my computer.
Oh,
He
your
got in. He lives there.
It's a
Every
British
time
computer.
Not this one.
Oh.
Remotely connected so I could return something, and now he lives there. No matter what time of the day I turn that computer on, he's there to try and fuck shit up.
Oh my God. All right. 7-Eleven Indian. Okay. I don't know what that is referring to. Jen, do you have any ideas?
Yeah, the Indian man that lives in my computer. He's Sri Lankan.
I thought that was a Nigerian prince.
Oh, he literally lives in my computer. He's alive. He has control over it. Okay. I was on the phone with him. I just can't get him out. That's why I have a new computer. I'm telling you the truth.
He didn't come to live there after you got a warning signal saying, warning, warning, you have a
No, I
virus.
went to go return something, and I went to the Wayfair website, and it said Wayfair, and he asked me to remote do it so he can return that thing you bought me that didn't fit over there. And then he asked me for the credit card number, and then I figured it out that this was not Wayfair, and it was a little Indian man that was inside my computer now on remote. So I waited 3 weeks. I turned it on at 3 a.m., at 6 a.m., at 2 p.m., and he was always there. So
Oh my. Well, I'm glad we have a new computer for you now. Ouch, that's scary. Okay, what you want to know what else is scary? Weird but true. Watch this. I got this. This is Western Lensman made this video, and I got it from
that's Taurus in her computer. Sorry.
what happened?
Debbie Lobato wrote, Jen has Taurus in her computer. Storing my computer and all my passwords.
Howard Zim, you are on the money tonight, Chief Wild Eagle. Okay, do you notice that Billy Nolan and the professor talk similarly often? I have no idea what they're talking about sometimes. Biden comments about aliens. Biden is an alien. Let's get it straight. That is not somebody that.
Taurus.
Yeah, he's got little people living inside his belly. We're gonna have a hand coming out of it soon. Okay. Let's see. What else do I have for you? Oh, wait, no, that's not right. This is right. All right. Video from Western Lensman. Watch this one.
The Democrat open borders plan to entrench single-party rule, explained in under 2 minutes. 1. Flood the country with untold millions of illegals by land, sea, and air from all over the world, enough to eclipse the populations of 36 individual U.S. states so far. 2. Prioritize the needs of these millions of non-citizens over the needs of the American citizen, with free flights, buses, hotels, meals, and phones, ensuring their loyalty to the political party that imported them. 3. Keep them in the country at all costs, even when they commit violent crime like murder and rape. Attack the language used to describe the criminals, as opposed to the criminals themselves. Slander critics as racist. 4. Ensure their privileges are made irrevocable with city and state sanctuary laws that act as population magnets. Codify permanent status and ensure non-cooperation with ICE. 5. Count the non-citizens in the census that will determine congressional apportionment in the House of Representatives. As of now, that would equal 13 extra congressional districts, a tremendous amount of electoral power. 6. Wage a massive, heavily funded lawfare campaign to change state voting laws that legalize mass mail-in ballots, no signature verification, and no proof of citizenship requirements, making it nearly impossible to prove voter fraud. 7. Lock in the permanent voting majority with campaign promises of lavish benefits and permanent privileges, enshrining generational fealty to the Democrat Party. 8. Win elections. 9. Entrenched single-party rule has been achieved. The best part? Your tax dollars are paying for it.
I'm texting Joe Imperiacci on Blue Lives Matter. See what happens when you give me a computer.
Yeah,
No,
then you have your phone is free. Oh, that's no good. Put your phone down. Danger Will Robinson. Yeah, it's coming to that, Debbie. It's coming to that. New scam on Messenger. Got a new phone. Can you help me with an access code? Really? Interesting. And the bloodbath is caused by the tourists that are allowed here. Excellent. We're going to talk about the bloodbath at length in just a few minutes. Do you think Joe Biden ever picked up dog poop with his face mask and then put it on his face?
It was ice cream. He ate it.
Remember that? Oh my God. I love Howard Zinn has a great memory. Remember that video we showed that girl? It's sad but true. It sure is sad but true. Couple points in that video. 13 congressional districts. That's important for people to remember. The Tammany Hall setup. Okay. That's how New York City became blue. Was with what's his name? Gentleman Jack. Why can't I think of his name? Holy moly. No, I'm sorry. But Johnny Walker, the mayor at the time. They gave benefits to, they actually met the boats of the migrants, the legal migrants coming over on Ellis Island, gave people apartments and jobs. And the only thing they had to do in return was promise to register in the Democrat Party and to be Democrat for the rest of their lives. And they did. They did. And that is how New York City turned blue. The same was true in Chicago. It was kind of a mob mentality. And they did a great job with it. And now they're trying it in the United States. And it may work. We need Trump. He should do a mass roundup and deportation. Well, that's what he wants to do. We need to get him in first. Tweed, Boss Tweed. That's right. Boss Tweed. But wasn't his real name Johnny Walker? Jimmy Walker. That's it. Jimmy Walker. I love them. They are so smart. Because my brain is old and there's a lot of stuff in here. And the stuff I need doesn't want to come out, and the stuff I don't need comes out all the time. The Jews should be outraged with Schumer. Oh, absolutely. 100%. They should be outraged with Schumer. They should be outraged with Biden, even though Biden is saying he's supporting Israel. He is still doing it half-assed. He is not, calling for a ceasefire. He is not 100%
more than Israel.
It's crazy stuff. And he released the money to Iran, another $8 billion to Iran. How do you lift sanctions on Iran to give them more money so that they could give more money to Hamas so that they can continue their war against Israel? How do you do it? How does it make sense? Somebody make it make sense.
How does it make sense?
You can't make it make sense because it doesn't. Okay. Under the heading of weird but true, our newest justice, Ketanji Brown Jackson, had this to say when the question about social media and government came up in the court hearing. Watch. Listen carefully what she says about free speech.
Justice Jackson?
So my biggest concern is that your view has the First Amendment hamstringing the government in significant ways in the most important time periods. What would you have the government do? I've heard you say a couple times that the government can post its own speech, but in my hypothetical, kids, this is not safe, don't do it, is not going to get it done. And so I guess some might say that the government actually has a duty to take steps to protect the citizens of this country, and you seem to be suggesting that that duty cannot manifest itself in the government encouraging or even pressuring platforms to take down harmful information. So can you help me? Because I'm really worried about that, because you've got the First Amendment operating in an environment of threatening circumstances from the government's perspective, and you're saying that the government can't interact with the source of those problems.
Say it again.
Said why? You really can't hear me?
No, we can hear you, but it takes like a minute. It takes us, and you have to speak loud. Okay, so she's saying that the government should be able to pressure social media to take down certain speech, that it is imperative that the government have that ability to censor its citizens. And, in short, I'm paraphrasing, of course. You heard it yourself. You tell me if you heard the same thing I heard.
How about you make sure that the people that are reading and listening to it have their heads on straight? Then you don't have to worry about anything.
Well, you can't make anybody do anything, and that's the whole idea of our Constitution. The problem is that the Democrats seem to think that the Constitution, the government has all the rights, and the Constitution is there to show the people what their rights are, when the converse is true. The people have all the rights, and the Constitution speaks to what the government is allowed to do. But in 2024, the government has become like the blob. It is growing so big and so large that we don't understand that we are the ones with the rights, and the government is limited in what it can do. And we, the people, are not. If you look at things from the perspective of Ketanji Brown Jackson, where the government is the almighty and God, if you will, and the people are the disciples, then you will never have a free America again. Because
North Korea, all coming here, North Korea. I said it how many years ago? 20?
Yep.
North Korea.
Yep. Duty, shit talk. Yeah, right, exactly. Communism at its best. Yes. I don't know.
Silence. They silenced him.
Oh, silence. Yeah,
No,
total
I
joke.
think he just
Very good. Total joke. They're worried about free speech. Meanwhile, they want to arrest people for misgendering trans people. Exactly. Stupid as stupid does. The First Amendment is supposed to keep the government in check. And this woman is on the Supreme Court. The world is upside down. Mick, you're 100% right. It's upside down and it's backwards. And we have to raise our voices so that people understand. They ripped up the Constitution. They did. They're shredding it. Yeah.
Literally, they did. Well, Nancy
Yeah,
did.
literally. Okay, so it's something for all of us to think about. Weird but true that our Supreme Court justice thinks that the government has the rights and the people have limited rights. Weaponizing everything. Indeed. Okay, so Donald Trump had some free speech last week, and that free speech seems to have landed him in some hot water. So here's how we're going to handle this. I'm going to show you the clip. There's two clips. One of him talking about the automotive industry, and one of him talking about the tourist criminals. I still can't. In that video, they said you're weaponizing words, or using words, weaponizing the words used to describe these illegals. So anyway, one of them talking about tourist criminals, and then I'm going to play you what the news media said about it. You ready, Jen?
I'm ready.
Mexico has taken, over a period of 30 years, 34% of the automobile manufacturing business in our country. Think of it. Went to Mexico. China now is building a couple of massive plants where they're going to build the cars in Mexico and they think that they're going to sell those cars into the United States with no tax at the border. Let me tell you something to China. If you're listening, President Xi, and you and I are friends, but he understands the way I deal, those big monster car manufacturing plants that you're building in Mexico right now, and you think you're going to get that, you're going to not hire Americans, and you're going to sell the cars to us. No, we're going to put a 100% tariff on every single car that comes across the line, and you're not going to be able to sell those cars. If I get elected, now if I don't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath for the whole That's going to be the least of it. It's going to be a bloodbath for the country. That'll be the least of it. But they're not going to sell those cars. They're building massive factories. A friend of mine, all he does is build car manufacturing plants. He's the biggest in the world. I mean, honestly, I joke about it. He can't walk across the street. In that way, he's like Biden. But for building a plant, he can do the greatest plants in the world, right? That's all he cares about. I said, I'd like to see one of your plants recently. I said, I'd like to see, where can we go? Well, we have to travel to Mexico. I said, why Mexico? He said, because that's where the big plants are building. China's building really big plants in Mexico. But I got to know all these people. They're very smart, very streetwise. And I would do the same thing. If I had prisons that were teeming with MS-13 and all sorts of people that they've got to take care of for the next 50 years, right? Young people, they're in jail for years, if you call them people. I don't know if you call them people. In some cases, they're not people, in my opinion, but I'm not allowed to say that because the radical left says that's a terrible thing to say. They say you have to vote against him because did you hear what he said about humanity? I've seen the humanity, and these are bad, these are animals, okay? And we have to stop it. We can't have another Lakin. We have so many people. We have so many people being hurt so badly and being killed. They're sending their prisoners to see us. They're bringing them right to the border, and they're dropping them off, and we're allowing them to come in. And these are tougher than anybody we've got in the country. These are hardened criminals, and we've got hundreds of thousands of them. And we're not going to take it. We're just not going to take it. They are destroying our country. I'm telling you. He's the worst president we've ever had and the most incompetent president we've ever had. And he's also the most crooked president we have ever had. Now, other than that, I think he's doing an excellent job.
He's the best.
How do you not love that man? Good evening, Sean Connolly. Thank you for joining us. Yes, he was talking about the tortoise criminals. Bloodbath. Yeah. Now tell me, what was he talking about? Be careful. You keep talking about our freedoms and how we're actually in charge. 30 FBI agents will show up at your door. Let them come. Let them come. I'll tell you what. Since the day I was old enough to understand America, the Constitution, I've always said, I will die for my country. I will die for my freedoms because America, there's no other country on earth like it. America is the place where everybody has an opportunity. Everybody, even tourist criminals. And I will go down fighting. I will do whatever I have to do to protect
bow and arrow ready.
Yeah, bow and arrow. That's right. Trump gets elected and he starts to deport these tourist criminals. He will be called inhumane. You know what? Who cares? Who cares?
You know what? You take all the parents of the children that have been killed by them and everyone else, and you let them speak on their behalf.
I love Debbie. I'm in heavy menopause. Let them come. I'm telling you, the people that were there on January 6th, the majority of them were women in heavy menopause. I assure you. I assure you. Car factory in Mexico. Yeah, well, that's it. China is, that's what, listen, it was a great speech. The one thing about Trump is he wanders. When he's giving a speech, he wanders. He thinks about a point, then he gets another point, and then he pulls it back and he wanders. So sometimes and I do the same thing. And so you start talking about X and it takes you down this path. And so the clips that they can, clip up, make him look like he is,
he's like, oh, look, a squirrel, shiny ball.
Yeah. But at least his connect, his dots connect because there's so much he wants to say and all of it relevant. So it's easy to chop it up and make him look bad. And the media has been doing that. The Dems in the media are pathological liars. We all have taken a bloodbath with our finances over the 3 years. Indeed. Trump wanders because he has so much info. He tries to get it all out. Exactly, Deb. So let's take a look at what Chuck Scarborough has to say about Trump's speech.
He's talking about a bloodbath for America. It's laid out in the terms of it. And these idiots on Twitter, these idiots on cable news, these idiots on Sunday shows going, well, presidents, you know, he was talking only about the auto industry, and this is one more. It's just bullshit. Let me say that at 6:15 a.m. It's just bullshit. He knew what he was doing. We're not stupid. Americans aren't stupid. He was talking about a bloodbath. Sometimes a bloodbath means a bloodbath. And when he finishes by saying, and that's just going to be the least of it, seriously, these people may be stupid. We're not.
Oh, I beg to differ. Joe Scarborough, you are so stupid. Not only are you stupid, you are a shit stirrer and a gaslighter. And anybody that watches Morning Joe, I am suspect of. I don't think they're smart enough to get a job in a gas station, let alone understand.
Bolts on his door, security.
Yeah,
because of what's going on.
Exactly. So let's take a look at what bloodbath, the definition of bloodbath by Merriam-Webster. So it could mean a great slaughter, a notable, fierce, violent, or destructive contest or struggle, or a major economic disaster. That is a bloodbath. The third one is what Trump was talking about. It will be a bloodbath for the auto industry, and that's just the beginning of it. America will be in trouble. He was talking about industries, and he used the term correctly. But these Nimrods, because they have all been programmed that January 6th was violent, which it was not, that he had this major, violent riot, which it was not, because a couple of people broke a couple of windows and walked between the velvet ropes into the Capitol to ask what happened of the Congress and to say, take a look before you certify these votes. And that's exactly what happened. No different than those Jews for Palestine that stormed the Capitol and took over the Rotunda a couple of months ago. So, but they've got to try and bring it back to January 6th, and they have to try to make everybody crazy. But here's an interesting thing. Both factcheck.org and PolitiFact actually took Trump's side in this. For the first time ever, I have seen, but they didn't take it easily. I'm not going to let you have you read the whole thing. But basically, they said in context, he was talking about the automotive industry. So there's a lot of comments here. Hold on a second. Let's see. Car factory, Mexico. America is the last sanctuary. Yeah. If all the tourist criminals keep coming in, it won't. The Dems in the media are pathological liars. We've taken, yes, well, we read that already. Okay. I went.
No, it's going to happen. They are all going to, like, Tyson Foods fired not all, but a big, huge portion of their employees and hired illegal immigrants. All of them that just came over the border. Tyson Foods. So I will not be eating that anymore.
Yep.
What's going to happen is they're all going to be working illegally. They're not going to be paying taxes. We're not going to have any money to pay taxes. We're not going to have jobs, and this whole nation's going to crumble. We're going to become Venezuela.
Communism, that's it. Peter, the professor says it right. Useful idiots. Karl Marx. 100%. They are useful idiots. And if we don't pay attention, and I know everybody who watches this show pays attention. I know that all the patriots on Twitter pay attention. But it's the kids. It's the young people. It's the ones that are raising their kids, working 3 jobs, trying to make ends meet, who just want to sit on the couch with a beer or a glass of wine and watch the Kardashians. Those are the ones that are gobbling up this bullshit from, Morning Joe. We are experiencing a bloodbath now, Joe. Yes, indeed. Prosecutorial discretion. They were escorted into the Capitol. They were indeed. Calling us all idiots will change our minds and turn us into Democrats. You smart, me stupid. Yeah, exactly. 90% Americans are wise to them. 10% of the morons are running the country and believe the narrative. Indeed. So here's, I always say, if you want to get the real news, look at foreign news because they don't censor, and they have, well, they
the real news. Just look at the tortoise burglars Instagrams and TikToks.
Tortoise burglars. We went from tourist to tortoise. I'm so pissed off the administration is a weight loss system. Yeah, exactly. Okay. So here's some foreign news.
Yet again, quite disappointed that when you watch Trump's speech and he uses the word bloodbath, to me it's very clear he's talking about an economic bloodbath. And it's a strident term, yes, but it's not incitement to violence. I can tell that. I'm no idiot. I think most people aren't idiots. Similarly, I think he sort of made a mention of a crime that was committed by an illegal migrant to the country and called him an animal or something to that end, of which now, that means he's clearly labelling all people who cross the border animals. And it just, every single media outlet seems to have doubled down on the use of language rather than talking about the interesting facts of the story.
Now, Donald Trump makes clear that he was talking about an economic bloodbath relating to effectively the automotive industry. He was saying, I think there should be 100% tariffs on cars that are being imported to the US. So he was saying, if you vote for me, great news. If not, then the automotive sector will be decimated and there'll be this economic bloodbath. But do we really not expect our politicians to understand the impact of their words, particularly in the context of January 6th?
Do we not expect our journalists to also understand the impact of words and actually talk about the story and talk about whether this is a good policy instead of every single broadcaster, other than us, of course, going up in arms and screeching about, oh, he said bloodbath, he's a threat to stability. I mean, actually, to me, it's the irresponsibility of journalists who turn this into the big stirring pot.
What is this about? This is not maybe not even the beginning. Certainly, the start, shall we say, of the Democrats' campaign, and that campaign. Biden's campaign will be, my opponent is a lunatic. My opponent did January the 6th. Watch out, he'll do it again.
I suspect that Joe Biden will effectively sort of present Donald Trump as somebody who's deranged, potentially sort of untrustworthy. Obviously, he did do the job as US president for 4 years. But Joe Biden really set out on a mission to make politics boring again. And people will decide whether or not that's something that they ultimately prefer or not.
He hasn't been boring. He's been very entertaining.
I think
he's been unusual, I think, as a president.
Congress keeps. Some braces, boy.
I love.
Can't you get braces for free here?
No, it's the UK. They all have issues with teeth in the UK.
Order and get them for free.
Tortoise. Yeah. Good show. Good. Oh, thank you. We have a couple more. Love this platform. Oh, I'm so glad. Biden and his cronies have changed the language of common sense. Indeed, when we start calling illegal migrants who are burglarizing homes tourist criminals, he has changed the language for sure. Okay, here's a local
burglars.
Tourist burglars. All right, here's a local politician talking about what they're doing in Albany. Here's Sam Pirozola. Watch.
Hey, Staten Island, this is Assemblyman Sam Pirozola. I just want to give you some insight on my day and why I'm fed up. I'm here in Albany fighting for you. And what are we trying to do today? We're trying to make it illegal to dismember a human body and randomly throw body parts out your car window as you're driving along. And why are we trying to do that? Because the majority, and who's the majority? It happens to be the Democrats. Because the majority passed bail reform. And as we are now seeing, bail reform does not work. Could you imagine that we're in Albany and what we're talking about is making it bail eligible to not be allowed to dismember a body and throw body parts out your car window into random lots? That's how crazy it is up here, and that's why I'm here representing you. Thanks.
Not allowed to do that?
Apparently, it's not bail eligible. If you do that, you don't get bail, you get released. Weird but true. Weird but true.
Lorena Bobbitt, you're free to go.
You're free to go.
Just find your husband's penis on the side of the road. You'll be good to go. Here's a desk ticket appearance. We'll see you Tuesday at 5.
Oh my God, I can't. This is what they're voting on in Albany, making it bail eligible so that you have to have bail if you dismember a body and throw the parts out the window. Albany, that's New York. That's a blue state. Go figure. Kathy Hochul. Yep. And guess what? You guys voted for her again. I mean, I can't. I just can't. Okay, and here's the last one. We could talk over this one too. Kathy Hochul. Kathy Hochul. You got to sneer though on her.
You know what I'm saying?
Kathy Hochul and Nancy Pelosi have the same eyebrows.
They're related.
Yeah, they probably are. Oh, they are related.
They are.
Yeah. Hochul is like her daughter-in-law or something like. I don't know. All right, so weird but true. A federal court said it is okay for illegal immigrants to carry guns. But at the same time, over 140 House Democrats demand ability to block veterans from purchasing guns. Do you believe this? We talked about this on our show not long ago that I went for my concealed carry permit and there was a Chinese immigrant who didn't speak English, who wasn't a and he was going for his carry permit. And I said, for sure, SLED will stop him. But I was confounded that on the application, it had room for your visa number. Well, guess what? Guess what? The tourist criminals are going to be allowed to carry guns.
Criminals are not going to put in to have a gun. They're going to carry ghost guns from the street. That's what's going to happen. They're not just like the gun control and everything. Like I said, when you outlaw guns, the only people with guns are outlaws. That's it. That's it. They're not going to go get their gun.
All right. So here's my theory on this federal judge. This is an Obama appointed judge. So here's my theory on this is that the Dems want to take our guns away. And so if she makes it legal for non-citizens to carry guns, then the law-abiding United States citizens who are getting guns are going to get up in arms and start screaming about it. And that puts 2A on the table. And that's why they're doing it. So that people like me who say they shouldn't have a gun, now, where does that put me on 2A? Do I start questioning? Do I want restricted gun ownership?
You already have restricted gun ownership. You can only go into a hotel, your car, your home with it. What the hell is the point?
No, that's not true in every state. And the federal government said that everybody who wants it, that the Constitution protects the right for the United States citizens to bear arms. The question here is that they're not citizens. So should the Constitution protect their rights if they're not citizens of the United States?
No.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's
go to Mexico. Try and get something from them.
Yeah.
Machete to your neck on the side of a hill.
Yeah, the guns. The vets should go get guns from the tourists. 100% sick.
You can go get a visa from the tourists in Times Square now. They're selling them. That's the truth. There's video of it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're going to leave you with that thought. I mean, so how does I mean, it's got to go to the U.S. Supreme Court. It has to. Because honestly, if you're not a citizen, does the Constitution protect you if you're not a United States citizen? That's the question. And it's one that I go back and forth with, because if it's okay to take your rights away, but not my rights away, so once you're here legally, not illegally, should the Constitution protect everybody that's living in America legally? That's the question.
Yes.
Yeah, I think yes. So then that means that they can have guns.
Well, no. If you weren't born here, you're saying, but you're now a citizen?
No, I'm saying if
everyone's here legally though, but they're not citizens.
I'm saying if you came to this country and came through the visa process, through the regular visa process, you were approved for a visa or asylum, but you have not yet taken an oath to become a citizen of the United States, should the Constitution protect you?
You need a thorough background check from where you came from, just like we do.
Well, that supposedly if you get a visa, except for if the National Security Act is passed, they're not going to do that thorough background check.
Not anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's the whole thing. See you next Tuesday, Bobby. Chinese and Muslim police. Yeah. What constitution? It's not adhered to. Yeah. The answer to that question is no. Yeah, I'm just not sure. I'm just not sure. Because again, remember, the Constitution doesn't limit our rights. The Constitution limits the right of the United States government. It protects all of our rights, and it says what the government can and can't do. So I believe that the reason this federal judge did this was to cause chaos around the 2A question. And I think she's going to do it. I think it's going to cause chaos. But, the truth of the matter is, as Jen rightly said, if you're a criminal, you're going to get a gun. It doesn't matter. So, why not?
Only people that really are legally getting guns are law-abiding citizens. That's it.
Yeah.
Whether you're here or you're not from here, you probably own a business, you're, family man, you're not going down to City Hall or whatever, filling out your paperwork and putting it in because you probably don't even have real ID.
Right, exactly. If you're illegal, the problem, I think that the problem that we have is that these sanctuary cities and states are creating a two-tiered system of justice. If you're an illegal migrant, you're not arrested, you're not, you're automatically let go. There's a lot of things that go on in these sanctuary states. And so at the end of the day, I think the question that needs to be answered is, are sanctuary states allowed? Because they are actually going against the Constitution.
But sanctuary cities or states, we're a sanctuary city in New York, means that you're supposed to take care of the citizens, the people that live in New York, that are New York bred, before you take care of anybody else. But they're not.
It doesn't say that. It doesn't say that. It says that you provide sanctuary to anyone that requests.
You have to take care of the people of that
You're
area
supposed,
first.
if you're a sanctuary city or state, you are saying that you can seek sanctuary here, even if you are illegal.
As long as everybody's taken care of first. That are the people.
No, it doesn't say as long as everybody's taken care of first. It says that we must provide sanctuary for you. So if you add 100 million people, or you add 1 million people into a city of 8 million people, now those tax dollars of the 8 million people are going to now be spread across 9 million people. And the ones seeking sanctuary are going to have food and clothes and all that stuff because you have to care for them. So the question that I have is, being a sanctuary state, isn't that against the Constitution? Because if Texas, and here's another double-edged sword, right? If Texas can't protect itself as a state because immigration is a federal mandate, then how can New York or California or Illinois or Arizona be a sanctuary state where they're interfering with federal legislation or the federal system of immigration? They shouldn't be. So Texas is using that they have the right to protect themselves and their borders. That's what they're using to actually, quote unquote, interfere with immigration, which they're not. They're just protecting their borders, which is a whole different thing. But these sanctuary states are actually interfering with immigration because they're hiding out people who are seeking asylum before they get adjudicated by the federal system. So,
asylum with an iPhone 14.
Yeah. Well, that's, yeah.
I have an iPhone 11.
All I give government is to protect the people. That's exactly.
The tortoise burglars have better phones than me.
Yeah. How can we overthrow this administration? Vote. We've got to vote. When they can't protect the people, they are not governing. This is true. Obama made the first 100 miles into the U.S. an unconstitutional zone when he was president. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I got what you're saying. The three parts of the government should stay in their own lanes. They should. They absolutely should. But a lot of laws are made through the Supreme Court. It's been historic. Their decisions have created laws. People must protect themselves, government not governing. Yeah, well, we're at that point now. We're at that point. But I leave you with that question about 2A and about sanctuary cities and states, because we really do need to settle that, because right now those states are going against the federal government and our federal or our national immigration policies. And I think that some smart lawyer out there should bring that case up. And then Texas won't have to worry about protecting. Kniff, yeah, maybe Kniff. Okay, and just I want to end on that. Scott LeBedo got the thrill of his life last week. He had his movie premiered in Mar-a-Lago, and Trump actually came out to meet him. This has been a dream of his. This has been something he has been wanting for forever, and now he got it. And why can't the name just went out of my head? It's the what Patriot? The name of his movie. Anyway,
the Patriot Artist.
No. It's like God. Well, go to his page. Anyway, it's going to premiere in June. It's going into movie theaters. It's fantastic. I got to see a sneak peek of it.
Relentless Patriot.
The Relentless Patriot. That's it. Love you guys. Happy Palm Sunday.
Bye.
Happy Palm Sunday to you. We went way over tonight. Jen, I love you.
Love you.
Last words.
Oh, your birthday Saturday.
And your birthday is Monday.
No.
Tuesday. No, is it Tuesday? Oh, it's Tuesday. Oh, it's Tuesday. Oh,
Might not be here.
Well, I guess I need a guest host.
We'll
Okay.
see.
All right, everybody. Love you. Here we go.
Bye.
Bye.